When working on machine learning problems, it's easy to be laser-focused on the model training. But the data is really where it all starts. So today, we'll cover the basics of storing data for model training and see how to access training data from the Vertex AI Workbench notebook that we created in the last episode. I'm Nikita, and this is Prototype to Production, where we go from notebook code to a deployed model in the cloud. Before we get into the data, let's take a look at the image classification example that we'll use throughout the series. But note that if you have a different data type or prediction task, a lot of what we cover in this series will still be applicable to your use case. So here's a Colab notebook that trains an image classification model on the flower photos dataset. The dataset is in a folder called flower photos, which gets loaded directly into the runtime when I execute this cell. The flower photos directory contains 5 subdirectories, one for each flower type in our dataset. These directories contain JPEGs of the corresponding flowers. The next cells in our notebook create our training and validation datasets, define the model using TensorFlow and Keras, then train and save the model. Our goal is to take all of this code and run it on Google Cloud's managed machine learning platform, Vertex AI. But if you want to train models on Vertex AI, first you need to get your data into the cloud. If you've been working in a different environment like Colab or locally, etc., you can upload any code artifacts you need to your Vertex AI Workbench managed notebook, and you can even integrate with GitHub. In the future, you can do all of your development right here in Workbench. But for now, let's download this Colab notebook as a .ipynb file and then upload it to Workbench. If you're using something like TF datasets or downloading data off the internet, you can do that directly in the notebook, just like you would in Colab or in a local environment. So for example, if I execute these cells here, it'll download the flowers dataset directly to the instance, and we can access them that way. Or if your dataset is small enough, you could even load it directly into the instance by clicking the upload button right here. Now that we've downloaded the data, we can run through the rest of the cells in this notebook. And there you go. You're training a model on Google Cloud. Now this might work for experimentation, but for something more production ready, you probably want to store the data within your project in a centralized location instead of directly on the machine where your notebook is running. And that's what cloud storage is there for. Cloud storage is Google Cloud's object storage. Meaning you can store images, CSV files, text files, saved model artifacts, just about anything. Cloud storage has the concept of a bucket, which is what holds your data. Everything you store in cloud storage must be contained in a bucket, and within a bucket, you can create folders to organize your data. Each file in cloud storage has a path, just like a file on your local file system, except that cloud storage paths always start with gs://. So here in the UI, I've created a bucket called Prototype to Production bucket. You can upload files and create folders in the UI, or you can upload files programmatically with the gsutil tool. This tool is installed automatically in Workbench, but if you want to use it to locally upload data from your machine to cloud storage, then you'll need to install the Cloud SDK, and instructions on how to do that are linked below. So let's use the gsutil command to copy the data we downloaded in our Workbench notebook to our cloud storage bucket. We add the exclamation point to execute this as a shell command, then type gsutil cp to copy. We add the -r because we want to copy the entire directory, and -m to perform a multiprocessing copy, which will just speed things up. Once the data is copied, we can check out the bucket in the UI. We can go into one of these folders and see all of the images. When you have data in cloud storage, you can often still access it using the same methods you would before. You'll just need to pass in the cloud storage path, also known as a URI, instead of a local path. So for example, if you're familiar with using TF records, you might use the tfdata tfrecord dataset class to create your dataset. You can pass in a cloud storage URI and read the data just like you would if the data was stored locally. And you could even do the same thing with image dataset from directory, which is the function we're using in this sample. In this episode, we saw how to download data directly to our Vertex AI Workbench instances for experimentation, and how to create and upload data to cloud storage buckets via the UI and the gsutil tool. Vertex AI Workbench and cloud storage are building blocks that will be a core part of our machine learning journey on Google Cloud. In the next episode, we'll learn about running custom training jobs on Vertex AI's managed training service and how to kick off a training job from a Workbench instance. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more great content, and I'll see you next time.